Time is 6:20. Today's date is August the 21st, 2017. I call this regular board meeting of the Weslaco Independent School District to order. Establishment of a quorum. Let the record reflect that we have a full board present. Item number 3, opening prayer. Dr. Canales.
Good evening. For an invocation, Weslaco High School Campus Instructional Facilitator Gilbert Rebolloso will deliver the invocation. Mr. Rebolloso, thank you in advance.
Thank you, Dr. Canales. Let us pray. Thank you, Lord, for this day and all the blessings that you sent our way. Thank you, Lord, for our health, our families, and our jobs. Thank you, Lord, for our students, teachers, parents, staff, administrators, our counselors, and our board. Lord, as we begin a new year, may you be present in our hearts as we make decisions for those who we lead and care for. Lord, you declared in Jeremiah 29 that you know our plans for us, our plans for our welfare, not for disaster, to give us a future and hope. In Isaiah, Lord, you say, observe what is right and do what is just. Lord, as we plan and make decisions for those who we serve, may you guide us in making decisions that are for the good of all and not for self. Lord, I ask that you lead us and protect us, that you give us the wisdom and knowledge and courage and desire to be an example of your word. In your precious name we pray, amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Mr. Ruiz.
Thanks, Coach.
Item number 4, Pledge of Allegiance, Texas Pledge. Dr. Canales.
We have 3 students who will be leading the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay,
Mr.
if I could have our
Rebolloso.
3 students please stand up. First, I'd like to introduce Emmanuel Lopez. He is the son of Jose and Zenia Lopez. He is a senior at Weslaco High School and is a 4-year member of the Panther Corps and head drum major. Emmanuel recently won first place for outstanding team conducting during the Contempo Leadership Camp. He has also won 4 Division I ratings in solo and ensemble competition and 3 superior ratings at marching camp. Outstanding band. Emmanuel was a state qualifier for Business Professionals of America. He was also a member of the Science National Honor Society, National Technical Honor Society, and participates in Destination Imagination. In the future, he would like to attend St. Edward's University and major in graphic design. If his parents are here, can they please stand up and be recognized as well? Okay. I would also like to recognize Gabriela Sainz. She is the daughter of Jaime and Laura Sainz. Gabriela is a junior and first assistant drum major of the Panther Corps. Gabriela has received Division I ratings for the past 2 years in solo and ensemble competition, and she is a member of the conducting team that recently won first place. She is a Superior Honor Roll student, a member of the National Honor Society. Gabriela also participated in the National Hispanic Institute as the member of the 2017 Texas Lorenzo de Zavala Youth Legislative Session House of Representatives. After graduation, Gabriela plans to attend the University of Texas in Dallas and major in computer science. If her parents are here, can they please stand or be recognized? Or if there is a grandmother, can she please stand and be recognized? We also have here this evening Alexis Ann Gomez, and she is the daughter of Margarita Gomez, and she is a senior and assistant drum major of the Panther Corps. Alexis has earned 4 Division II distinctions in UIL solo and ensemble competition and was part of the conducting team that won first place in camp. Alexis is also active in Business Professionals of America, where she was a state qualifier. She is a member of the National Honor Society, Jazz Band, and Destination Imagination. Alexis hopes to attend Texas A&M University in College Station and study biomedical sciences. If her parents are here, can they please stand and be recognized? Okay, I will turn it over to you guys for the Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone can please stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Up next, we have item number 5, awards and recognitions. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, we have awards and recognitions in honor of students and in honor of a staff member. Mr. Robledo.
All right now we'd like to bring out some students from Weslaco East. These are some of our AP scholars. If you can please have can you please recognize them with a big hand as they walk in to the boardroom. All right, and we also have some of our kids here from Weslaco High School. And tonight we want to recognize several of our high school students who recently received academic recognition on the national level. The College Board's Advanced Placement Program recently recognized several of our students for their exceptional achievement on AP exams. These students took part in college-level courses while still in high school to earn college credit, advanced placement, or both. A small percentage of the millions of students worldwide who took the AP exams performed at a sufficiently high level to earn an AP Scholar Award. Now, as I announce your name, can you please step forward to be recognized? AP Scholars completed 3 or more AP exams with scores of 3 or higher in subjects that include biology, chemistry, world history, and English literature. From Weslaco East, our AP Scholars are Marcos Aleman, we also have some people who aren't present. I'm going to go ahead and announce their name. Ariel Becerra. We also have Jacob Blas. Valdemar Castillo. Rebecca Cruz. Aranstra Espinosa. Joyce Garcia, Haley Germain, Leslie Guerra Jimenez, Yarisa Marin, Pablo Murguia Bravo, Kimberly Ramos, Amalia Rivera, and Katia Vallejo. From Weslaco High School, our AP scholars are Clarissa de la Garza, Matthew de Santiago, Hannah Diaz, Rolando Garcia, Lorena Guerra, Sarah Johnson, Luis Ledesma, Jasmine Medrano, Morgan Parker, Cecilia Peña, Samuel Reyes, Priscilla Rios, Leslie Villanueva, Jenna Wells. One of our students earned AP Scholar with Honor Award. This student had an average score of at least 3.25 on all AP exams taken and scored 3 or higher on 4 exams. This student is Alejandra Garcia. Another student earned AP Scholar with Distinction Award. This student had an average score of at least 3.5 on all AP exams taken and scored a 3 or higher on 5 or more exams. This student is Cesar Maldonado. And if their parents are here, can they please stand and be recognized?
Thank you very much. Students, I want to congratulate you on behalf of the board and the whole school, as a matter of fact. We're very proud of your accomplishments, and we know that you're going to go a long, long way with the dedication you have for your education. Thank you so much, and congratulations again.
How about another big hand as they exit the stage? Congratulations. Also tonight, we have a special recognition. Making a positive impact for student athletes is all in a day's work for Weslaco ISD Athletic Director Oscar Riojas. For the second year in a row, Coach Riojas has received recognition as the Region 7 Regional Athletic Director of the Year. Through his leadership, Riojas has been instrumental in shaping the Weslaco Athletics into a district of champions for the past 10 years. With a coaching staff of over 250, Coach Riojas oversees the middle school and high school sports programs at Weslaco ISD. He has also served as a speaker at numerous state conferences and has held several clinics reviewing UIL policies. During his tenure, the Panthers and Wildcats have advanced to state competitions in different sports. Both boys and girls teams have won numerous district championships, by-district championships, area championships in football, basketball, cross-country, swimming, golf, tennis, track and field, softball, baseball, wrestling, and soccer. And the powerlifting boys and girls teams have also won numerous state champions. Can we have a big hand for Coach Riojas, Region 7 Regional Academic Athletic Director of the Year.
Speech.
Once again, a big hand for the Region 7 Regional Athletic Director of the Year, Oscar Riojas.
You know, it's a great honor being chosen once, but being chosen twice, back to back. Back to back. That's wonderful. And congratulations.
Congratulations.
Did any of your family come, Coach?
We are his family.
You have your extended family. Congratulations again. Moving on to item number 6, we have public comments. We have one person that signed up. That's Mr. Ramon Montalvo III. I have to run something to you before you get going, but come on up to the mic. You are to address only matters that concern the school district. You are not to attack any district employee or board member. We will not tolerate any disruptive behavior by any member of the audience. If you do not abide, you will be directed to cease and leave the meeting. If you can start off, Mr. Montalvo, with your address and then go ahead.
Ramon Montalvo III with Montalvo Insurance Agency, 208 South Texas, here in Weslaco. Good evening, Superintendent Canales, President Lopez, and board members. I'm going to go ahead and refer to some notes since I want to make sure I cover everything. Of course, after watching the eclipse today, I don't know if my sight's that good, but anyway. I want to take this opportunity to give you some background on myself and my agency that will be essential to the property item that will be discussed tonight, especially for the new board members. I've been specializing in public entity insurance for the last 40 years. I'm a product of Weslaco ISD, class of 74, and with the exception of 4 years in college, I've made Weslaco my home. I'm a taxpayer, I have a staff of 8 that live here in the community, I'm also a longtime supporter, as most of you all know, of the KISS Cam, as well as the scholarship, annual scholarship, and now recently the fireworks show. I've had the opportunity to service the district over the years. We were last named agent back in 2011, and we were able to help the district correct some major deficiencies. I'm not sure how many of y'all were here back then, but I know Dr. Rivera was the superintendent at the time. Being local, we were able to point out where your new campuses, namely the San Houston and Dr. KWES, were not on your list of properties to be insured, so if you would have had a loss, you wouldn't have had coverage. At the same time, there were some buildings that weren't around anymore, yet they were still on the list. So that to me is the good thing about being local. And in addition, as Dr. Rivera knows, when I was on the board, I was insistent on the workers' comp going self-insured. And as a result, I kind of take a little credit that we've been able to save hundreds of thousands of dollars over a fully insured program. We brought an expert in property evaluation that made major adjustments in your property limits. Most of them were underinsured back in 2011. We were able to save the district an additional 15% due to that property expert getting all the roof updates, the year built, the remodels, upgrades, what have you. We continue to be your local eyes and ears on any new exposures. Most recently, I read about the new turf at the stadium. Well, that turf is a better grade, so you need to get, and I mentioned it to the district, that they need to upgrade it from the present value of, I think it's $800,000 to whatever it costs now. I mean, I'm sure it was a lot more. So that way you won't be underinsured. I also have done several suggestions regarding contents. Okay. The contents were underinsured at a lot of your locations. Most recently, our agency was able to cover flood damage, if you remember, back in October of last year at Roosevelt. That was not part of this package that y'all are going to consider tonight. It was a separate policy, a primary flood policy. There was going to be a situation where a building was damaged that wasn't covered or insured technically, but we were able to come in and get the matter resolved to the mutual satisfaction of the district. Our agency produced a proposal that fully complied with the specification, providing full limit coverage of $438 million as called for in the specs. I've seen competition say they were offering the same, but if you dig deeper, limits could be reduced, items left out. Inland marine policies could have less coverage, such as not covering your rental equipment that you use, your equipment breakdown, could not have the spoilage limits that you need. So that's something that you need to really consider. We strongly recommend that the district take advantage of the 1% named storm deductible, and that to me is huge. And speaking of the budget, if you go to a 1%, which we're offering, and you got to take advantage. I mean, I suggest, for example, at East High, you have that main building that's $40 million in value. So 1% of $40 million is $400,000 that you'd have to pay in case of a named storm. But if you have a 2% or higher, then you'd have to have $800,000. So the $400,000 is, you're going to have to get that from surplus or what have you. So we are offering that, and in addition, there's a maximum $1 million limit on your deductible for any year. So, you know, that to me compares to what you had before, and it probably would be with a 2% or higher with somebody else, where your maximum would be $8 million if there was a category 4 or 5 storm that blew through. So that is huge. That's something that you want to, for a small, in fact, the cost to do that is about the same as what you had last year, about $700,000. So public entity insurance is complex. It has many variables, and even some consultants have difficulty navigating through it. So, you know, if there was an apples and apples comparison and not a stripped down coverage, there would be a minimal difference in premium. So based on what I know about the other proposer and the offer, my broker can offer about $160,000 less, but then you'd have less coverage. Finally, our agency has had a recent experience with the same competing agency on a large district down the river, down the Rio Grande River. We had an auto quote that was a good deal higher, but the other quote did not have physical damage, and that's why they were lower. And so you just have to know that you really get what you pay for. I want to thank you for your time. I hope we can continue to be of service. And remember that if there are large differences in premiums, it normally means large gaps in coverage. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Montalvo. Moving on to item number 7, Superintendent's Report. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, we have 4 items that we'd like to report on. We'll begin with insurance with Mr. De La Rosa, followed by 2017 accountability by Mrs. Peterson and Mr. Aguilar. Are you going to do it too? Okay. Aguilar, and then convocation 2017, which first rating is next, which I'll do with Andres Sanchez, and then convocation 2017. So, Mr. De La Rosa.
Good evening, Dr. Canales, Mr. President, members of the board. This is the standard self-funded health insurance slide that we provide to the board every month. This is our plan year is almost over for our health insurance and our workers' comp. These are claims through July 31st, 2017. We break them down by our medical claims. Up through July, we spent $10,367,322.61 versus last year of $9,786,875 with 63 cents. That's a difference of $580,446.98. With the prescription drugs, we have seen a little bit of uptick so far the last couple months. This year, we spent $3,178,908.96 on prescription drugs versus the same time last year at $3,015,151.14. Of course, a difference of $163,752.82. Fixed costs, which is, of course, the fees that we pay to run the plan, stop-loss premiums. This year, we spent $2,553,181.08 versus last year of $2,521,663.47. That's a difference of $517.61. Total we spent this year, everything included, $16,099,412.65 versus the same time last year of $15,323,690.24. That's a difference of $775,722.41, approximately 5% increase this year over last year. On our self-funded workers' comp program, as Mr. Sanchez mentioned in the workshop, we are budgeting $500,000 again. Our claims this year versus last year, 105 this year versus 95 last year. Total medical claims, prescriptions, admin, indemnity, everything all incurred through July, $384,972 versus last year of $379,149. Total paid actual cash out the door through July, and this is inclusive of all plan years, is a $202,167 versus last year $182,593. We have almost $220,000 in reserves for workers' comp, so we're looking good.
And this goes through August, correct? Or
excuse me?
does this go all the way to August?
This is through July 31st.
Through July.
So next month, I'll present a recap of the entire plan year for both programs.
Okay.
And then our Blue Cross 9-1?
They'll be effective 9/1, yes, sir.
Okay.
That's what I was asking, like, when does it end? So
September 1st.
Okay.
On your fixed cost, I know there was an issue several years ago with lawsuits that surfaced. Have we audited and monitored the fixed costs?
We reconcile the fixed costs every month, yes, sir. So we take what, we get a statement from the company, and we run it against our payroll and make sure it matches. And and of course, what the amounts are that the board approved, so yes.
Well, Mr. Pettis, we had talked about an audit a while back. Has this been done?
I haven't received any direction.
We had talked, Mr. Pettis, about an audit on the health insurance. Did we ever?
Yeah, I think the discussion with the board was that the consultant was recommending that the plan year conclude before the audit was initiated, so that's what the holdup is.
That's true.
Have you started inquiring on names on possible people that can do that audit?
Yes.
Okay. Is that all you have, Doc?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have our accountability report for 2017. Mrs. Peterson and Mr. Aguilar.
Well, if I get the keyboard open, be all set. Good evening. Last Monday, the district received the final accountability ratings for last school year, and we'll share those with you in the board update. The first is numbers assigned to each of the index measures for the campuses. There are 4 indexes we are rated on. Index 1 is student achievement. This is all students, all tests. Index 2 is student progress, and we receive a report of our student progress from year to year, all students, in English, language arts, and math. And the Index 3 is closing the performance gaps. For our district, we're really looking at the economically disadvantaged student against our Hispanic population, which is the majority, vast majority of our students. And then Index 4 is post-secondary readiness. So for the elementary and middle schools, we are looking at the number of students who scored at the meets grade level or above. And then for the high schools, we include the graduation rate, the graduation plan, and the post-secondary readiness indicators. And this is a chart showing the index comparison from 2016 to 2017. Everywhere there is green, we had an increase. So you can see almost across the board, we had increases at almost every campus and almost every indicator for each index, and that is where we're headed. Also, all of our campuses are met standard for this school year. I want to stop here in case there are any questions on this chart.
Good job with the green. Good job with the green.
Looks good, right? Yeah. We know we still have room to grow, but we are definitely headed in the right direction.
Could have gone with a little bit darker green because I'm a little colorblind.
Well, you know, on this screen it looks okay, but on these screens it kind of fades out because I had Mr. Flores even added the shading to it, but we'll try to get brighter colors.
I would like to point out to the audience that the ones that are not in green, many of them actually stayed the same and was not a decrease.
Right.
So we either, for the majority, were either gained or stayed the same.
It was good news. A lot of
Yes,
hard
very
work
good.
by our teachers and campus staff that went into these ratings, so we're very happy. And then I'll turn it over to Mr. Aguilar to talk about distinction designations.
Thank you, Mrs. Peterson. Mr. Lopez, Dr. Canales, members of the board, good evening.
Good evening.
Just a few points on the distinction designations that we do want to point out to you. Just to campuses that achieve the Met Standard rating are eligible to earn distinction designations. These are earned when the campuses perform at the top of their 40 group. The 40 schools are grouped by size, grade level, and student demographics. Weslaco ISD had a significant increase in the number of distinction designations received by our elementary and middle schools. As you can see here, the accountability table that we have for 2017. We have categories here by content area and, of course, multiple indexes. If you look to the far right, the number met that they can earn, the secondaries have up to 7 distinctions, and the elementaries have up to 6 distinctions. So as you can see, we did grow significantly, which we were very excited about in moving forward on that. As you can see in the elementary, also social studies is not measured. That's why it's blocked out there. So you can see the numbers there through the 6 and through the 7. So we're very excited with our campuses. As we move forward, we had distinctions from year to year. These are the total number of campuses with distinctions. As you can see, last year we had 3 elementary campuses. This year we have 5. In the middle schools, we had 2 last year. This year we have 4. And in the high schools, we stayed the same. Distinctions from year to year, these are the total number of distinction designations. Elementaries had a total of 6 last year, and we grew by 20. That was, of course, as you can see, that was an increase by 14 distinctions. Middle schools had a total of 8. This year we had 17, so that was a plus 9. High school stayed the same. District total, 16 to 39, which an increase with 23 distinctions.
And I'd like to add that we had 2 campuses that met all the distinctions. First of all, for elementary, we had Sam Houston Elementary School.
Yes, ma'am.
So they made 6 of 6. And for our secondary campuses, we had Central Middle School, 7 of 7.
And the principal at Central Middle School is?
Is she here? Miss Pat Munoz.
All right.
Any questions that you may have regarding the distinctions?
Just want to congratulate all the principals out there that are here and the teachers that are home or those that are here. Continue the good work. I know we've gone through a phase in the last year, and it seems like we got this train moving forward in a great direction. So continue the good work and good luck this coming year.
Yeah,
I think,
good job.
I think our goals should be that each school receive at least 1 to 3 distinctions, not all 6, but at least 1 to 3. Every single school, I think it's possible. We have awesome leaders now that are doing a good job, but I think it's important that at least every school receive a distinction next year. And I think they will.
Yes.
Well
And Ms.
stated, and we have a plan, we're working on that. The principals are working very hard, and we know that they have their plan already, and we're going to be moving forward on that.
And I like to respond to that too. In emailing, when we emailed the principals, congratulated them, the thing was back 6 of 6 next year, 7 of 7. See it happen. So a lot of energy from our
Good.
campus leaders, our teachers, and our department heads too, who provide support.
That's good.
So
good.
congratulations, everybody. We're proud.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let me just commend the middle schools. There's one in particular, which is KWES. And KWES used to be, I think at one time they had none or 1.
Correct.
And now they have 7. So I really want to commend also KWES and Big Garza for 7. I want to commend the elementaries that you mentioned, Sam Houston. Also, you have Margot, 5 of 6. Memorial, 4 of 6. And Kleckler Hill, 4 of 6. So good job to all of these schools.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, for the next report is about the first rating. On August the 8th, 2017, TA released the preliminary ratings for the Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas, known as FIRST Indicators, for the 2015-2016 school year. We understand that our district has obtained a perfect score, 100 out of 100 points. And in speaking to Andres, I think this is a first, so congratulations. It's a superior rating, it's 14 years in a row, and a first 100 out of 100. So to everybody in our business office, thank you for your work, keep it up.
Good job.
And that's on the financial integrity.
Rating System of Texas, FIRST.
Andres, good job to you and your staff.
Good job.
Good job, Andres.
Come on, Andres.
And for the final report, Convocation 2017, wanted to thank everybody, our principals, our teachers, our directors, everybody, all departments for a wonderful event. It was a 6th annual convocation where WISD is Lit for Literacy was the theme. So a lot of great things happened, wonderful student performances, wonderful keynote speaker. Just everybody came together, from the graphic design to the layout of the program to working with the kids to making sure buses got there on time. So just congratulations to everybody on a great event. I'd like to recognize the Convocation Committee members. If you're in the audience, will you please stand up and be recognized? Thank you for your hard work. Just as a reminder, Weslaco ISD is the right choice, where everybody comes together to make sure that when our students graduate, our diploma is gold. And everybody recognizes that across our state and the nation. So thank you.
Congratulations to everybody. I mean, it's a team effort that's going on here. I mean, the awards that we just received and the convocation and everything, all the students that were here just a few minutes ago and receiving their recognition for good grades. And it just shows of all the dedication that our teachers, our principals, our counselors have in making our students succeed. And Weslaco is the right choice. Moving on, we've got item number 8, consent agenda. Does anybody have anything to pull? And I'll start on my left.
I've got none.
Rodriguez, Dr. Rivera,
No, none.
Isidoro,
None.
Oscar,
No, sir.
Andrew,
No, sir.
Patrick.
No, sir.
I would like to not pull, but I guess I need to pull T and U for some more information.
Which one?
T and U.
Oh,
Only because it's very vague on
Okay.
what's going on. Every other item is pretty clear, and I would like to pull those two. T and U. That one, I believe, is Sergio.
TASB update 108.
108.
Do we need to take action first?
Yeah.
Make a motion.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda,
Second.
excluding T and U for discussion.
Okay.
You sound like an Aggie.
Sorry.
You go, Patrick, second it?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of item T and U, only for further information. Motion by Andrew and a second by Patrick. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. Okay, on item T and U, okay, Andres,
Mr. Garcia.
we picked on Andres all day, so now it's your turn, Javier.
It's my turn.
Sergio, Javier's probably talking about us over in Hidalgo right now.
Good evening, Mr. Lopez, Dr. Canales, and members
just a
of the board.
real quick thing.
Yes,
I know
sir.
that we've had the updates and you've given us one or two updates before on this item.
Yes, sir.
But right now, we're just approving TASB policy. Just a quick update on what we're doing.
How many legal, how many local?
Yeah.
Yes, so,
Especially local.
so we had already presented these for you, or we provided you the policies. We had, I believe, 7 local policies that we're reviewing. Would you like for me to just real quickly go through?
Real quick, very quick.
Sure. So we had policy EF on instructional resources. Basically, this policy is on materials from the American Library Association. And actually, one of the biggest changes on this was replacing the term instructional materials to instructional resources. We have EFA local. This policy has been deleted. We have EFAA also has been deleted. The alternative methods for earning credit, the EHDB, and this one pretty much this policy on credit by examination with prior instruction are to clarify that the examinations used must be board approved to reflect current statutory wording about failing to earn credit or a final grade because of excessive absences. So basically, they have to be able to be present to get the credit. The EIF, academic achievement on graduation. This policy on graduation has been revised to delete references to the minimum recommended and advanced distinguished achievement graduation programs. The campus charters, EL, local policy, recommended revisions to this policy on campus charters are intended to better align with the statutory provisions and current TEA expectations. That's that one. And then finally, the GKB, Community Relations. This one states that based on numerous district requests, TASB recommends a revision to the local policy on advertising and fundraising, basically that there will be no, that the district shall not accept paid political advertising. So those are the 7 policies, local policies that we have brought forth to you and we need your approval.
Okay, and the biggest point that I want to bring out is that we have had workshops on this and that you have explained to us and discussed with us, and if we had questions, we have exchanged conversation, and at this point, we're ready for approval.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because on the agenda item, it's very simply like, well, we're just approving it, what are we approving, what are we doing? So we have gone over it, we have discussed it, and we have studied it, and it's something that you at in-depth have already gone over, and TASB is recommending for us to do that.
Correct.
Perfect. Now let's go on to you.
Yes, item U, Mr. Lopez, is the approval of revisions to policy FFA Student Welfare, Wellness, and Health Services. This was submitted by Dora Peña and Erica Garcia. Are they present? And they'll just give you a very brief description of this one as well.
Okay.
This one also has already gone through the first reading, and it's here for your approval.
For approval.
The local wellness policy was first initiated several years ago. We updated it in 2015. And now, due to the Healthy, Hungry, Free Kids Act of 2010, they made some revisions that include that we have to notify the parents of what type of wellness activities are going on in school, like physical activity, serving nutritious meals, and other wellness type of activities that go on in the school day. And also, one of the major changes that came about is the marketing of items in our schools. With the nutrition standards that were part of the Healthy, Hungry, Free Kids Act, which are called the Smart Snacks, that have to be met during the school day. Those were implemented a few years ago, and now one of the changes that came about is the marketing. We not only can not sell items that don't meet the nutritional standards, but now we cannot market items through signage or billboards and what have you in schools during the school day. And the school day is defined as midnight tonight till 3:30 or whenever the school day ends, 30 minutes after the last school bell. So those are some of the changes that came about and why we have to revise the local wellness policy.
So if a school has a fundraising
Let's say
at their campus, so as long as it's after 3:30, they can sell the good
Yes.
snacks?
If the bell rings at 3:30, they can
Sorry.
sell whatever they want to at 30 minutes after that.
Okay, so as long as
4:01,
it's
you
30
can start
minutes
your-
and they have
And
anything, they're
you can
good?
continue to sell until midnight.
Okay, so cake,
Then come
gummy
midnight,
bears
you
with
need to stop.
Kool-Aid, all of that goes, right? After 3:30? Okay. After
If they
4.
shut down at
And all of
midnight.
that is for the well-being of the students, because as you all
Principals don't have
know,
anything after
we do
11.
have a serious childhood obesity epidemic in our nation, and we're trying to, try to
Change the trend.
work on changing that trend through all healthier foods in our school districts and setting the example for them.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Good?
Thank you.
Thank you, Sergio.
Okay, I'll entertain the motion now of approving.
So moved.
continue.
Second.
Have a motion by Isidoro and a second by Andrew Gonzalez to approve items T and U of the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
No.
Motion carries. Moving on to item number 9, discussion items. A, interim financial report for the 11 months ended July 31st, 2017. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees recommend that you acknowledge the interim financial report for the 11 months ended July 31st, 2017, as prepared by our business office. No action is required, and Mr. Sanchez is here to answer any questions.
Yes, through July 31st, in our general fund, out of our $25 million budget for local revenues, we collected $25,741,000, which is equivalent to 103% of what we budgeted. On the state sources, we budgeted $129.1 million. We have collected $120.3 million. That's 93% of the revenues. And on the federal sources, out of $15.1 million, we have received $13.2 million, which is equivalent to 87.8%. Overall, in the revenues, we have received 94.1% through July 31. On the expenditures, altogether in the general fund, out of $174,405,000, we have expended or encumbered, which is the purchase orders, $144.5 million, which is equivalent to 83% through July 31st. Any questions?
I have no questions.
No questions.
I'll entertain a motion.
No, there's no motion,
There's no-
just information.
No action on this one?
It's just information.
Okay. Item B, presentation of 2017 anticipated collection rate of property taxes for fiscal year 2017-2018. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, we ask that you review the 2017 anticipated collection rate of property taxes for fiscal year 2017-2018 as submitted by the Hidalgo County Tax Assessor Collector. Again, this is a no-action item.
Yeah.
Andres.
Yes,
Mr. Sanchez.
Dr. Canales. In this item, members of the board, we need to report and to let you know that the Tax Assessor Collector, Hidalgo County, is certifying that we will collect 100% of the taxes that we have for the year, the M&O and INS. It is a requirement that we state that. They're estimating it like that. And also for last year, they also certified that it was 100% the collection. So there's no need for additional tax collection that need to be reported as excess in the report that they have to file. But it's a report that we need to let you all know about. They're certifying 100% collection on the taxes.
That's good. Okay. Item C, acknowledgement of Hidalgo County Tax Office collection reports for June 2017 and July 2017 current and delinquent taxes. Andre.
Yes, Mr. Lopez. For June, through June 30, 2017, on the current taxes, we had collected $22,609,000, which is equivalent to 93.59% of the original tax levy. That is 0.27% higher than the previous year, when the collection percentage was 93.32%. On the delinquent taxes, which is the prior year levies, we collected $1,592,000, and that was 23.73%. The prior year, it was 24.54% through June 30, and that was 0.81% lower. For the month of July, on the current taxes, we had collected $22,772,000, which is equivalent to 94.26%. The prior year collection rate had been 94.07%, which is 0.19% higher. And on the delinquent taxes, we had collected $1,068,725, which is 25.44% collection through July 31. The year before, it had been 26.30%, which is 0.86% lower. We should be collecting a little bit more for the month of August, so it should be getting close to the 27% on the delinquent taxes, which is the goal. The budget is exceeded, we budgeted only 20. And on the current taxes, we budgeted 91. Our goal was 93. We're already at 94.2. So we're doing good with the taxes, tax collections.
And that's just for information also, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, before I move on to item number 10, I would like to clarify that on the approval of items T and U, earlier in the meeting, Dr. Rivera had stepped out, so the vote was 5-1 in approval. And that's just for the record, for the minutes. Item number 10, discussion and possible action item. Discussion and possible action to endorse a nominated individual from another school board within our TASB district to fill a position on the TASB Board of Directors. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, I recommend that you consider endorsing a nominated individual from our TASB district to fill a position on the TASB Board of Directors, position A. If the board...
Sorry. I'd like to make a motion to nominate Patricia Ocaña Olivares.
Second. Oh, we're not motion yet?
Yeah, that was the motion.
Okay, second.
Sorry for interrupting you, Doctor.
Sorry, they're fine.
I thought you were done.
We're on.
Do we vote on that one item, or do we wait for more nominations?
Well, it's not for nominations, it's discussion and possible action to endorse.
Endorse.
So-
Okay. Okay, so we have a nomination by Patrick Kennedy and a second by Isidoro for Patricia Ocaña Olivares as individual from another school district within our TASB district to fill a position on the TASB Board of Directors. Any discussion?
Yes. I see a name here by the Jacqueline Padilla. Is that our new principal? Is that you? Oh, okay, I just wanted to make sure. you know, so maybe we can have some local representation. I mean, I'm just,
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor of Patricia Ocaña Olivares, signify by saying aye. And raise your hands so I can see it. We have two. All those not in favor of Patricia? Okay.
no?
No? Okay. So that doesn't pass. I'll entertain another.
Yeah, just for clarification of the minutes, it was a 3-3.
Yeah, it was a 3-2.
3-3.
3-3.
Andrew
Was
was
it
in there.
3. There were 6 of us in the room.
3-3. So it doesn't pass. So I'll entertain another nomination.
I'll make a motion to nominate Jacqueline Padilla for this TASB Board of Directors. Nominate.
Okay.
Second.
Who's second?
Me.
Okay, I have a nomination by Oscar. And a second by Andrew for Jacqueline Padilla for the same position as TASB Board of Directors. Any discussion? I would just like to add that she's one of our principals, so good nomination, gentlemen. All those in favor of Jacqueline as serving as a representative signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. So Jacqueline Padilla, congratulations. You are
Congratulations.
designated nominee. Now, I believe you still have to get voted in, or is this right?
There's an election.
Just for its
Yeah.
endorsement.
Yeah, this is just your nomination, so now you get to get voted on.
Good luck.
Good luck. Make us proud. Moving on to item B, discussion and possible action to designate a delegate and an alternate representative to serve on the 2017 TASB Delegate Assembly. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, I'm recommending that you designate a delegate and an alternate representative to serve on the 2017 TASB Delegate Assembly, which is scheduled to meet during the TASB-TASA Convention held in Dallas, Texas, October 6 through 8, 2017. Thank you to the following board members who were designated to serve as delegates and alternates at the 2016 TASB Convention. They were Delegate Mr. Nieto and alternate Mr. Gonzalez.
Good job, guys.
Wow, Coach, hey.
I think we paid our dues already.
You want to do it again?
I can't. Personally, I can't.
Would anybody like to volunteer?
Patrick?
Well, the paper says it should be a seasoned member of the board.
Mr. Caballero?
Mr.
I
Caballero?
No.
You can?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna make it this year.
Dr. Rivera?
I could be the alternate if you're the delegate.
Hijo de su-
Thank you,
Okay.
Andrew.
Okay.
Yes, Andrew?
I move to nominate Andrew Gonzalez and as alternate, Dr. Richard Rivera.
Second.
Okay, we have Patrick has nominated Andrew as a delegate and Dr. Richard Rivera as the alternate for the 2017 TASB Delegate Assembly. And it was seconded by Dr. Rodriguez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Yeah, way to go, guys.
Thank you.
Item C, discussion and possible action to approve expansion of the Weslaco ISD Early Learning Foundation Program partnership with Hidalgo County Head Start Program to serve Dana and Progreso sites. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, we've been working on this throughout the summer. I'd like to ask Ms. Janie Peña to come up. We are recommending that you approve the MOU between Weslaco Independent School District and Hidalgo County Head Start Program in order to expand services to Head Start sites in Dana and Progreso.
Done it for 2 years already?
Yes, sir. Two?
Yes, sir.
No, there's no change?
No.
Yes, there is a
Okay.
change. The change is that we already have an MOU with the Head Start program for the Weslaco sites. These would be the two Dana sites and the one Progreso site.
And you're okay with them?
Yes.
I move to accept.
Second.
Yes, this would mean an increase of 240 students to Weslaco ISD.
Good job.
Good job, good
Good
job.
job. We have a motion by Dr. Rivera and a second by Isidoro to approve the partnership with Hidalgo County Head Start Program to service Dana and Progreso sites. Any discussion?
Just want
Good
to
job.
congratulate Ms. Peña for your continued work in our health program. You've done an exceptional job, and thank you for your efforts and everything that you do for the district.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Item D, discussion and possible action to approve the Weslaco ISD Early Learning Foundation Academy collaboration with Weslaco Daycares. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, we're recommending that you approve the MOU between Weslaco Independent School District and local licensed child care centers of Weslaco for the continuation of the collaboration between the 21st Century Early Learning Foundations Program and licensed daycares for the 2017-2018 academic school year. This is year 3 of this partnership, and we'll be serving in partnership with 3 daycares. Is that correct?
I'll move to accept.
I'll second.
Who did the second? Oscar? We have a motion by Dr. Rivera and a second by Oscar to approve the collaboration with the Weslaco Daycares in regards to the Early Learning Foundation. Any discussion?
Again, thank you, Ms. Peña.
Thank you, good job. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Item E, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of the administration's recommendation for the ranking of the qualification statement received from design-build firms for the construction of a new digital scoreboard for Bobby Lackey Stadium, RFQ number 17-08-65. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, administration recommends that you approve the administration's ranking recommendation to include all 3 design-build firms that submitted qualification statements as finalists for the design and construction of a new digital scoreboard at Bobby Lackey Stadium. The 3 are Daktronics, Inc. of Brookings, South Dakota, Nevco, Inc. of Greenville, Illinois, and VCR Now, powered by Formetco of Red Oak, Texas. After 10 years of service for the existing scoreboard, it is time to replace it. Although it continues to operate, it has become a weekly challenge to ensure that the scoreboard functions well for Friday's football games and all other scheduled events at Bobby Lackey Stadium. A request for qualifications package was emailed to 7 vendors, all of which specialize in athletic scoreboards. We received a total of 3 qualification statements for this project. As part of the design-build method of construction, school districts must approve up to 5 firms. Since we've received only 3 and all have experience in installing scoreboards, administration is recommending that the school board qualify and select all 3 firms as finalists for the digital scoreboard project at Bobby Lackey Stadium.
I move to approve all 3 as finalists.
Second.
Motion by Patrick and a second by Isidoro to approve the 3 finalists for the scoreboard at Bobby Lackey Stadium. Any further discussion?
I just want to, I think to make clear that they haven't been selected, they're just going to submit proposals based on these 3 responding, right?
Yeah, that is
That's
correct.
correct.
So we had earmarked the money already, right?
Well, no, this is one of the items that we had indicated, that the funding would come from either selling the naming rights to the field or from getting a loan.
Okay.
For it.
How much for the loan?
About $1 million, $1,200,000, depending on how much it costs. We expect between $1 million to $1,300,000
Dr.
for the
Rivera,
cost of the
I
scoreboard.
know it's 10 years, but back when you got the first one,
And it's a bigger size also.
how long was the loan and how fast did you pay it
I
off?
think it was a 10-year. Was it 10 years, Andres?
About 11 years ago, yes.
11 years.
Yeah, it's been
But
a
it
while.
paid for itself during those.
Paid for
And we'll continue with that on the advertising revenue.
Yeah.
What does it generate? What do you expect?
About 100,000 a year?
Close to 100, and we're planning on
100,000 a year.
expanding increasing the number of advertisements we have with a bigger scoreboard.
The existing one paid for itself and made money for the school.
Yes. Did that money go back into?
It's been
Should've
going there. Pay for everybody now. We're going to try to
maybe
keep
this
it
time.
separate.
Earmarked
Yes.
for again for another
A new one.
scoreboard later
Yes,
on, 10 years from now,
Yeah.
or not 10 years. Yeah, 10 years from now. That's right.
Who's in charge of the scoreboard during the games?
Mr. Robledo?
Mr. Carlos Robledo.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry?
You want to buy an ad?
I was just wondering, I love the
question.
scoreboard. I was just wondering if you could talk to Mr. Bissett about not playing ads when the band plays sometimes. Sometimes I enjoy listening to the music, so. But do a good job.
What is the timeline to complete the project?
Right now, we're looking at finishing sometime in December.
So in time for soccer and track?
Right, yes, sir.
Oh, that's
Graduation?
fast.
Oh, definitely, before graduation, yes.
And the speakers that we purchased last year will fit with the new one, correct?
Good.
The specs haven't gone out?
No, not yet.
There's
We're
a
waiting
new
for
one
this.
to the west. Okay.
Is Daktronics from, I know it has here South Dakota. There's a firm in McAllen. Is it a different firm? They didn't submit a proposal? You sure? Daktronics?
What?
They're the ones?
It's just a local.
That's what I mean, but are the ones doing the work would be the McAllen firm or the North Dakota? I mean, one of the ones doing this? Local?
It could be local, but of course, their main office is
Right.
in
Correct.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Robledo, when you've, I guess just to piggyback on Dr. Rivera, just to make sure that, I know it says South Dakota, but when you've had issues, someone local comes.
Right.
Correct. There is a local technician who will come in here and make the repairs.
Okay.
They order the parts that they need, but they are local. Yes, and they're based out of South Dakota, but of course, they're local here. They have scoreboards all over the valley.
Thank you.
Good. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Item F, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of proposal awards for property and casualty insurance, boiler and machinery, inland marine and flood, RFP number 17-08-66. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, after looking at this, administration is recommending the approval of the proposal award to McGriff, Siebels, and Williams, option 4, for property and casualty, boiler, machinery, inland marine, and flood insurance for fiscal year 2017-2018, RFP number 17-08-66.
Mikey, come on up.
So we received 2 proposals, and we've laid out the information and comparisons for you, and Mr. De La Rosa will help lead us through this.
Did you have any specific questions, Mr. Lopez, or did you want me to kind of go through it?
Yeah, just go through it, Mikey. I'm concerned,
Okay.
about the difference in pricing. We've had the insurance that we have. We've had it for several years. Good service, no complaints. Everything works. And in comes a company from outside and it makes it hard to understand how a company's not from here can come in at such a cheap rate. My concern is we pay what we get for, and I want to make sure that the district is not shortchanged in the long run. That is my
Understand.
concern.
Okay. Well, we looked at the proposal and what we requested, and as far as the coverage requested on our schedule of values, which is right here. The main differences between, of course, you have different options and different scenarios, but of course, on the left-hand side of your information, you have what we currently have, what we currently paid, and then there's an option 1 with the incumbent company at the 1% deductible. The option 2 with the incumbent company is with a 5% name storm deductible, okay? And then, of course, and that is what we currently have. And then option 3 with the recommended company is a 2% name storm deductible, and then, of course, a 5% name storm deductible. The deductibles on the all other perils, which is, of course, fire, the vandalism, many other type of incidents like that, the difference in the deductible is $100,000 versus $50,000 with the recommended company. And as you go down, there are different sublimits, of course, that are offered. The name storm sublimit, that is the maximum that the insurance company is going to pay, was $75 million across the board. The only other difference besides the all of the perils deductible and the only other difference besides that deductible was the all other AOP per occurrence, and that stands for all other perils. There are no sublimits on the current proposal, and of course, the incumbent, there's no sublimits. And the recommended company, this does have a $175 million sublimit, okay? However, I'm very confident that there wouldn't be any other peril that would hit us that would cause damage over $175 million. So for example, if Weslaco High School burned down in the morning, we would be able to rebuild Weslaco High School under these limits. If 3 hours later Weslaco East burned down, we would still be okay because they're different perils. So it's a management of risk. Of course, the incumbent proposal is very good. They're both actually very good proposals, but based on premium-wise and the amount of risk that we're taking or we're accepting, that is why I feel comfortable with the recommendation.
Okay.
And of course, the inland marine, the only difference there is basically on the incumbent, you have $1,000 and a little bit higher deductible for camera and band instruments versus $1,000. And then of course, the Borland machinery, the products that are offered, they're pretty much identical. And then of course, you have the premiums broken down on the bottom. Everything that we have is on a schedule. So the inland marine is basically a schedule that we provide the company. So that's all of our tractors, all of our backhoes. The band instruments are also covered. High dollar camera equipment, KWES's equipment, for example, but it's all covered based on what the schedule that we submit to the company is. As far as the contents go, the contents are covered in a building. Say Weslaco High School, the contents are covered as a percentage of what the total value is, and right now we have it at about 20%. So if Weslaco High School would burn down tomorrow, or I don't mean to pick on Weslaco High School, but let's say if a school burned down, the contents would be covered based on what we have scheduled here. So that's...
We're looking for you.
All the computers.
We'll have our hammers.
Were both companies given the same schedule?
Yes, yes.
Were both companies quoting the $438,015,542?
That's correct.
What is the difference between option 2 by the incumbent and option 4?
Option 2 from the incumbent, the only difference is the deductible on option 4 is $50,000 versus $100,000 for all other perils. And then, of course, the sublimit on the all other perils, option, I'm sorry, 2, did you say 2 or 3?
2 and 4.
Option 2, of course, would be, there wouldn't be any sublimits versus the sublimits of option 4. So, but I already addressed that.
And the wind-driven rain, is that a difference too?
Wind-driven rain and hail is a $100,000 deductible across the board.
Have you had our insurance consultant look at this?
Our insurance for the property casualty?
SWBC?
No, I did not.
They did not look at it.
Is there a reason?
There were 2 proposals. I felt comfortable going through them. I really didn't see the need to send it to an outside firm. I did go over with Mr. Sanchez, the grid that you see here, and then, of course, with Dr. Canales and members of the board committee, too. So,
When does the current one expire?
August 31st.
August 31st.
What is the planned savings?
If you go with the recommended option versus option 2 with the incumbent at a 5% windstorm deductible versus option 4, you're looking at a premium difference of about $220,000.
I'm sorry?
220.
It's over $200,000, the difference.
Approximately.
So over $200,000
Yes.
in savings with the new company.
With the new company.
I like what Mr. Lopez said, to have someone else take a look at the figures, the consultant, to make sure we're comparing apples to apples. I don't feel comfortable voting tonight, myself. I just need to see more information.
Is there, on the RFP, on the sublimits, was there a specific amount that was asked for?
No, we did ask for the 438, the total. However, there's also a stipulation that says any deviations or alternate proposals must be clearly explained. So it's a proposal. This is what we asked for, but they gave us this, and they explained it, and I was okay with it.
and the 5% deductible.
The 5% deductibles. There was different options. There was 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%. Just kind of pick what you want.
What do we currently have?
5.
So option 4 that the district is recommending is current,
Yes,
so it's the same.
yes.
Our SWBC is here, right?
They're here, but not their property and casualty person.
I think, like Dr. Rivera mentioned, I would like to see also our consultant look at that and see what we can do that situation.
What does this do to a timeline?
Well,
We
we
need
have
to
until,
have
we have
it.
2 weeks to,
So, yeah, if we go that route, we'd have to call probably a special called board meeting and
I've got no
check on
problem
the
with that.
review. If that's what you
No
all
problem
wish
with
to
a
do.
special board meeting. And either that or we need to get our insurance agent. I believe that the RFQ sent out allows us to pick our agent. If we can pick our agent, then we can go with this. If we can't pick our agent, then I want the SWBC to review and go over it.
that is some of the language that we included in the RFP, that the board can certainly do that. Whether or not the other company will work with that, I mean, I can't answer that. We'd have to ask.
I move to table and with getting more information and having the consultant look into the proposal.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion to table the item for the property and casualty insurance, boiler and machinery, inland marine, and flood insurance, RFP 170866. Motion by Isidoro and second by Dr. Rivera. Any further discussion? All those in favor of tabling the item, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Well, let's show our hands so we can get clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, unanimous. Table it. Okay, thank you.
I'll stay for the next one.
Huh?
I'll
You stay for the next one? Item G. Okay, do we need any clarification before we move forward on what we want to do on that inland marine?
I believe you want the consultant to evaluate it, and then we can bring it back at a special called board meeting
Next week, sometime next week.
sometime next week, the sooner
Or
the
as
better.
early as soon as you're ready, and either that or get our agent to take this one on.
I'm
That
sorry?
would be easier.
I don't understand the
Get our
instruction.
agent to approve to take on the bid that was submitted.
So we're asking the
Once, do
company.
you have contracts with these companies?
I don't think he even knows who it is. Come on up.
Ivan, is he allowed?
It's up to you. Oh, yeah.
Andrew, the question was if I have contracts with these, I have a contract with a broker that has contracts with these companies.
Okay.
Uh,
So
I
does
will-
your GA
Yeah.
go out to these companies?
Yes.
Okay. Did they provide you a quote, or why were you unable to get a quote?
With these companies, because they were blocked.
They were blocked.
Index, right. But I just wanted to say is that I'll be happy to look at this for y'all, give you, the fair look at it, and then come back.
Well, I don't think you're gonna get to give us another bid. I think what was gonna happen here is we're gonna let
Consultant.
our consultant review the paperwork and make sure that it's apples to apples.
Concentrate on those limits, 438 million versus 175 million. Just heard that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll have the,
Okay.
oh,
Hi, I'm representing the other company. I didn't know if it was allowable for me to speak now, so I'd actually like to point out some items on our proposal.
You know,
We allowed the,
Well, we allowed, so we should allow.
Attorney?
I'm gonna ask my attorney on
Yeah.
instruct me on that.
Yeah, that's going to be completely up to you. The board's already taken action
Yeah.
to table.
We've taken
this.
action, but I'm gonna allow you 2 minutes to, if you wanna give us a short answer and rebuttal to what's going
Hi,
on.
I'm a little nervous. I haven't done this in a while.
Give us your name and,
Hi, I'm Olga Sáenz. This is Liliana Herrera, and we represent McGrath, Steeples, and Williams. We are the other agent who presented. What Mr. De La Rosa said was correct. There are a few points that I'd like to point out. Yes, our coverage was $175 million. Well, I don't know why I'm so nervous. But our coverage is actually blanket, which is a big deal. So if, I know one of the items that was mentioned was that your schedule may be underinsured. Our coverage is actually blanket. So what that means is you have the full 175 million for any loss. Another item is our expertise. You guys mentioned, the incumbent mentioned his expertise. I just like to focus on our expertise. We write
We write Brownsville ISD, Hidalgo County, Corpus Christi ISD, Portland ISD.
Yes.
Which one is the one in San Antonio?
We write Northeast ISD, we have Corpus Christi ISD, we have, our agency writes over 100 plus school districts. Our division focuses on public entity, and we have a solid background in public entity. So this is not our first rodeo, per se.
Okay.
So if there's any coverage questions that you have specifically for our program, I'm more than happy to answer them.
Well, we just made a motion and we tabled the item
Okay.
to allow our consultant to review all the information.
Okay.
And I'm sure that if they have questions, they're gonna contact your office
Okay.
and everybody's office too.
Okay.
Right? Now, where's your office at?
We're in Houston.
Houston.
And yes, and we do have local presence here as well. We have a partner that we use.
I have family here in Weslaco.
Yes.
Yeah.
We actually
I
came.
just visited them.
Yeah, we actually came from visiting her parents that live here. And we also have another, Joe Blasi, he's actually the account manager that also handles this account, or
Okay.
would handle this account.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm sure
Yes.
they'll be calling you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item G. Discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of proposal award for the specific and aggregate stop-loss insurance for self-funded medical RX employee benefits plan, proposal 17-08-67. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, Administration's recommending that you approve the proposal from Partner Re Insurance through SA Benefit Services for specific and aggregate stop-loss insurance for the district's self-funded employee benefit program. SWBC, the district's employee benefit consultants, assisted risk management in this process and are recommending Partner Re. And we have a breakdown that Mr. De La Rosa can explain.
Oh, okay. There were two proposals. Again, good evening, everybody. There were two proposals. The incumbent submitted a proposal as well as another one. And as you can see, the premiums are broken down for ISO, which is individual stop loss. This, of course, means that the self-funded plan covers all costs up to $125,000 deductible. After that, the insurance company takes over with no limit. There's also aggregate stop loss, which is when the plan as a whole reaches a certain dollar amount, then we're reimbursed $1 million to $2 million depending on the plan that we select. In this case, we pay a per employee per month, which is part of an admin fee. Our admin fees premium, $66.59 versus $63.05. Proposal 2. The recommended proposal is roughly about $100,000 more. However, the Gerber Life proposal included 6 what we call lasers, and lasers is when they set the specific deductible over. In this case, the 6 lasers they included would expose us to about $2.9 million in additional liability. So that difference outweighed the $100,000 less in yearly premium. Secondly, they also excluded 4 individuals from the plan totally, whereas the recommended proposal only indicated 3 lasers, and that's only for the specific diagnosis. And the SWC folks are here as well if you'd like to speak to them.
And the one that we're recommending is the incumbent, or?
That is correct, yes.
Is there an agent on that?
It's a SA Benefit Services through San Antonio, in San Antonio, Texas.
How many years have we been with this particular?
This would be the second year if it's approved.
Okay. How many proposals do we have? 2?
2.
Why do you think we're only,
Really,
Only two options.
probably I can only speculate, but more than likely, over the last 3 years, we've experienced significant loss runs. As far as individuals on the plan, this year we had 11, and I have it right here, I'll tell you. This current year so far, we had 11 individuals that went over the specific deductible. We had another 3 individuals that were over $90,000, and then another 8 individuals that were over $65,000 in claims. So it's 22 high-dollar individuals, and right now, we're just not a very good risk. Kinda
That's
like,
why we have minimum proposals.
correct. It's kind of like looking for auto insurance when your license has been suspended and you have a bunch of car wrecks. So you're going to pay a little bit more.
True. Last year, we paid 1.6. Is that correct?
Yes, and it depends on how many employees we have, so that number always fluctuates. But that's based on approximately 2,318 members. So, and that's not going to really change very much.
Okay. The agent is SA Benefits. Who is that?
They're a company out of San Antonio. They're an MGU that actually presented the quote.
What do you know? Do we know
Yes,
who
yes,
they
I
are?
know what they are. They're out of San Antonio. I've never met with them, but they do assist with they have assisted with the operations over the year. What they do basically, they're an MGU. So basically, they present all the claims, all the information to the actual company, and then we get reimbursed by them. So they kind of oversee the filing of claims and make sure we get reimbursed, along with the TPA. So in this case, Blue Cross would work directly with this company.
Okay. But you don't know specifically who the person is?
I've just spoken to her over the phone. It's an agency. I don't know, maybe SWB.
Good evening, Javier Guevara with SWBC. Stephanie Chara is the executive.
What was the last name?
Chata, C-H-A-T-T-A, I believe. Okay. And they do have an office in San Antonio.
You're comfortable with it?
Yeah.
Because that's going to be the next question from one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been in this business for.
So.
I move that we go with the administrative recommendation.
I'll second.
Have a motion by Isidoro and a second by Oscar Caballero to go with the recommendation on the self-funded medical RX employee benefit proposal 1708-67, and that's with partner RE. Is that correct, Mike?
That is correct.
Okay. All those, any discussion?
Just a couple. One is, why did the premium go up on the RE so high?
It's about a 14% increase, and more than likely, I don't know if you want to chime in on that.
It was a challenge because of the losses and the risk that they were looking at. You can tell it by what Gerber came back. That was the company that quoted in addition to that. The lasers that they set up were way high. Simply just can't consider them. I have to say that they probably didn't want to take on a risk, but they were here. In comparison, the incumbent really said, we are also going to laser, but instead of the 7 or 8 that Gerber did, they said, we'll laser them and give you an amount. However, that laser will only come into effect if they have something that will trigger that, and that something would be a transplant. If it doesn't happen, which likely it may not, then those people that were lasered will stay at the 125,000. To me, that made a lot more sense when you look at the liability that Gerber was trying to transfer to the school district and the one that the incumbent was offering, much more reasonable. And for that reason, and the expense obviously is that there are a couple of challenging cases that would scare a whole lot of people. But it's a good proposal from the incumbent. We feel very comfortable with it.
How long have you been with us now?
I'm sorry?
The SWBC, how long have you all been with us, with the district? Like 3 months?
Came on in March.
In March.
Okay, in your opinion, or in your opinion, we had two people that gave us bids on this, item. Is that normal? Should we have had more? Should we have had more?
To answer your question, we were quite active in reaching out to the stop-loss market
Right.
and encouraging them to submit a proposal, and we were quite surprised that we only had two.
Well, you're gonna be here with us for a while, so work on it, and let's make sure that on our other insurances, we have more bids.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The only thing that concerns me, and it's not with SWBC, it's, we're gonna select the insurance plan and the agent at the same time. And my personal fear is that the wording on the agenda is not specific enough to include both the plan and the agent. That would be my word of advice, is that it may not be specific enough to do both at the same time.
Well, the proposal was submitted by that agency or that managing general, those MGUs. So really, they're intertwined. So you can't say we're going to give it to, agent XYZ because SA Benefit Services owns that quote.
Oh, I don't have a problem with selecting the agent. What I mean is that may be needed for a separate agenda item to say we approve this and then we approve them as the agent because we didn't include the agent on the actual agenda item itself.
Ivan? If it's a approval of the proposal as submitted and it identified that there was an agent as part of the proposal, then I think you're okay taking care of the entire proposal tonight. If there was some sort of intent to want to separate the agent and possibly look at a different agent, then I think there'd be the board might take action to approve the proposal with the caveat that it not include the agent, and then there need to be some discussion with the company and the carrier. But if the proposal is approved as submitted, then my understanding is that it's everything. It's the stop loss, including the agent that submitted the proposal. It's all in one.
Well, we can go out for the vote. We already have a motion already.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've got a question for SWBC. On the number of options that we're having here, is there anything, do you have any input on generating the RFP, language on the RFP?
No, sir. It was already out in the marketplace. We were just asked to come in and do the review and give you your the opinion of SWBC. Oh, okay. You had so many.
We did send them the RFP before it went out.
Okay, just to make sure that everything, is it, because I know we've separated the health with the PBM and the stop loss. Is that maybe hindering us in getting more proposals from your experience?
More often than not, we see a package go out, but it's not uncommon every once in a while to see it separated like it was in this situation.
Just get us some more bids going forward. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Item H, thank you. Wait, again, Mike? We got you for another one?
No, I'm done.
Oh.
Discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of administration's recommendation for playground resurfacing project at Roosevelt Elementary, RFCQ number 2017-04. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, we're recommending that you approve to award the competitive quote for a playground resurfacing project at Roosevelt Elementary School to Robertson Industries, Inc., located in Tempe, Arizona. This work will consist of the total removal and resurfacing of the existing playground's rubberized surface. In October 2015, the entire playground became flooded due to heavy rains, which damaged the surface.
And this is the lowest one?
Yes, sir.
I move to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Dr. Rivera and a second by Oscar to approve the recommendation by administration on the playground resurfacing project at Roosevelt Elementary, RFC Q number 2017-04. Any discussion?
Yes. Mike, we have a separate flood policy for Rose Oak. This not cover since it was flood-related?
That's correct. This particular, the coverage that we had, the separate coverage didn't cover any type of outdoor structures or surfaces. We were able to obtain funding through this through applying for a grant from FEMA.
FEMA.
So FEMA paid about 75% of this bill, and we've already received the money.
FEMA will, paid for $81,000, and the project's $90,000.
You said we received that money already?
Yes.
Yes,
And we have to do it, or else we're gonna send the money back.
exactly.
Right, got it. Good job. Sounds great. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Item I, discussion and possible action for the board to approve the memorandum of understanding between Weslaco ISD and South Texas College for the continuation of the dual credit program for the 2017-2018 school year. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, this MOU has been in place for a number of years. It's for regular dual enrollment, core and elective classes. It has no changes from previous years. We had about 107 students participate in this year and project 600 next year. We offer 44 dual enrollment courses at Weslaco High School and 26 at Weslaco East. It's free to our students, so we're recommending that you approve the MOU between our district and South Texas College for the continuation of the dual credit enrollment program for 2017-2018.
I move to approve.
Second.
Jaime. We have a motion by Patrick and a second by Jaime to approve the memorandum of understanding between ISD and South Texas College for the dual credit program for the 2017-2018 school year. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Item J, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of agreements with the Boys and Girls Club of Weslaco Incorporated to provide services to Weslaco ISD students at 4 elementary campuses for the school year 2017-2018. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, the Boys and Girls Clubs provide services to 4 of our campuses, including Memorial Elementary, Kleckler-Held Elementary, Silva Elementary, and Nevada Elementary. They provide both services during the day, such as education and career development, character and leadership development, and after school, including health and life skills, arts and crafts, and sports and fitness. We're recommending that you approve the agreement with Boys and Girls Club of Weslaco Inc. to provide services to the 4 campuses for 2017-2018.
So move.
Before y'all take action, I just want to excuse myself real quick since I also sit on the Boys and Girls Club board, so just that there's no
Same for me.
anything coming back, okay?
Okay. Let the record reflect that Oscar and Andrew have stepped away and are not voting on this item due to a conflict of interest, or accusing themselves. Okay, so we have a motion by Isidoro. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second by Dr. Rodriguez on the item, which is agreement with the Boys and Girls Club of Weslaco to provide services for the school year 2017-2018.
Do we do background, background checks on staff?
How many schools participated last year, Dr. Canales?
Well, for this one, it was a 4. As I understand, it's a 4.
And last year? Do you know?
Well, it was 4 for this specific
same
program.
4.
We also have them in the ACE program, and I'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
You said it was 4 students?
It was 4 campuses.
4 campuses.
4 campuses. Did you ask for the number of students?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I thought he was asking about students.
Now, the principals are good with this program and all plus?
They're in the audience, and Mr. Aguilar spoke to them today.
Yes, sir, Mr. Lopez. I spoke to some of the principals, and they do assist with several services on the campus, so they're happy with the services that are provided.
Okay, now, they're at 4 of our elementary schools. Do the other elementary schools not want them? Can they not provide the service, or is there not enough funds, or where are we on that? Can we add a school a year, do something like that?
We can certainly look into that and see what our best option would be.
Right.
Because if it's a good program, I mean, there's no reason for not all the schools to have access to that.
Yes, sir. We'll provide the information on the update.
Okay, as of right now, I know that we have the 4 schools, and that's what we're voting on. So is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Let the record reflect that Oscar and Andrew did not vote on this item, and it was unanimous 5-0.
Just want to thank y'all real quick. It's something that is phenomenal. I'm a product of the Boys and Girls Club, and it's dear to my heart. And thank you, gentlemen, and Dr. Canales, and principals that have the Boys Club on your campus. Thank you. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you. Moving on to item K, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval agreement. Well, I already did that one, right?
Yeah, this is
Item
for-
L. Or is that the same thing?
This is for the ACE. K is for the ACE program.
Okay. Discussion and possible action for board to consider approval agreement with the Boys and Girls Club of Weslaco to provide tours, school event as part of the ACE grant.
Excuse me.
It is almost the same.
It's almost the same.
It's almost, I said, man, I already read this. Just change the last part of it on me. Okay, let the record reflect that Oscar and Andrew have stepped away and recused themselves due to a conflict of interest as they serve on the Boys and Girls Club board. Okay. Do I enter a motion
You want
to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion by Patrick and a second by Isidoro to approve. Let me see where I can start reading. The agreement with the Boys and Girls Club of Westco to provide services to Westco ISD school students for school year 2017-18 as part of the ACE grant. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries 5-0. Item L, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of the final amended budgets for the General Fund and Debt Services Fund for fiscal year 2016-2017. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, we have Mr. Sanchez for this one. Administration is recommending that you approve the 2016-2017 fiscal year final amended budgets for the General Fund and the Debt Service Fund as presented. Mr. Sanchez.
If I may, Mr. President, I would ask if you could move item P to the beginning, since that's the tax item, and since the budget's dependent upon the tax item, it's kind of out of place to approve the budget, then later approve the increase of the taxes, if that's what the board wants to do.
Well, really, this is just the final amended budget.
Yeah.
The 20.
Yeah, this
it's
is
the
for last
20
year.
It's not the new one, it's the old one.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the old one, yeah.
I think we're okay on.
Yeah.
Later on, we
the-
have the budget for next year.
the order.
I move that we approve the budget as presented.
Second.
On L?
L.
L.
The final amended budget.
Yeah.
For 26.
Okay, a motion by Isidoro and a second by Dr. Rodriguez to approve the budget as presented for the debt service fiscal year 2016-2017. Any discussion?
Which of these accounts went into the red?
Well,
You have
not
to-
that
you have
they
to-
have gone into the red, we're just adding money.
Yeah,
to
but which
certain
ones were they?
accounts.
The ones that were,
Well,
went
on
into
the
the red?
functions, we're adding 60,000 to function 12,
Which
which
is
is
what?
libraries. 32, adding 90,000. 33, health services, 35,000. Co-curricular, 435,000. General administration, 203,000. And community services, 186,000. And this is just an amount that we went above and
So
beyond.
those
to
went
put
into
it-
the red, those
No,
accounts?
they're not in the red. We're just projecting, they're getting close to the budget, they're not on the red, but just to make sure that we don't run into any risks. More than likely, we're not gonna reach this amount, but to be on the safe side, we wanted to put enough money in the budget. And we're reducing the money from function 11, which is what we had teachers that we hadn't
And
hired.
you're taking the money from where? From the same,
Function-
from the
function
same
11.
budget?
For
From the
the-
same amount?
No, the increases are 1,009,000.
Yes.
The
From-
decreases are 5,009,000.
Okay. From where are you increasing?
So we're taking money for function 11 that we're not gonna use. We're putting some of it into those functions, and the rest is gonna be a surplus amount.
Okay, so you had a surplus in 11?
Yes, yes, sir. Yeah, we had mentioned
So for
before.
the, I know we're not there yet, but for the new year, are you gonna reduce that one for the 18 budget?
Well, we have some vacancies that we have. As we start the year, if we don't need any more vacancies, we can come back and adjust it, but we don't know right now.
Okay. Let us know on the update of which, after all the bills are paid, which accounts went into the red.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
Okay. So we have a motion by Isidoro and a second by Dr. Rodriguez to approve the final amended budget of the general fund and debt service for the fund of fiscal year 2016-2017. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Item M, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of Weslaco ISD compensation plan fiscal year 2017, 2018. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, we're recommending that you approve the Weslaco ISD compensation plan for fiscal year 2017, 2018. You received a copy of the compensation plan. Changes from last year's plan are highlighted in red and also included in a separate sheet at the end of this document. We have Mrs. Melva Segura, who will present and/or answer any questions.
We received this when? Somehow I didn't get it.
Sir.
Was it on the update?
It was on the update, sir.
I don't remember getting this. I don't remember.
Actually, that's the one that we got on
Could have been 'cause they didn't get one to me.
This is the raise for the teachers, is that right?
This is actually the compensation plan, which establishes the pay grade tables. It does include the raise that was presented by Mr. Sanchez in the proposed budget. I did provide you with a blue folder, excuse me, that has some additional information that might help you in making an informed decision regarding the pay raise. I did include a teacher salary progression table that shows you the yearly pay raise dating back to 1994 to present. You can see the total at the bottom, which indicates the yearly totals for each year. I also included a TASB survey information packet regarding district pay raises in the state and the region. If you can refer to the last page in the packet, it kind of just summarizes the information that as compared to others, if we're going to use Region 1, they are proposing a 2% raise across the board for teachers, administrative professionals, and auxiliary staff, paraprofessionals. And if you want to compare it based on the enrollment, you can go down to the enrollment 10,000 up to 24,999, which is still 2% across the board. And so that's the information that TASB and Region 1 has received from our neighbor districts. I also included a TASB report on teacher salary information for you that would help you in making that tough decision on our pay raise. Our current salary for teachers is $47,200, and this is 0-year experience, a brand-new teacher coming in. I did put a little star next to La Jolla ISD, who is paying a little bit more at $48,000. And on the second page, Laredo United, which is slightly over at $47,500. So we're...
The document that you're looking at is this one?
Yes.
And you're on page 2 and 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I know that during our workshops for the budget, there was discussion of $1,000 raise for the teachers, and Dr. Rivera insisted that we find money for an additional $200 per teacher, and also for our paraprofessionals, a good 5%. And did that happen?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
good. So our teachers are going to be getting
$1,200.
$1,200 raise.
I think the proposed budget indicated 5%.
I don't think Andres said it though.
5% for paraprofessional and 2% for administrative staff. And so this is this compensation plan is reflected in the proposed budget that you'll be approving, I think right after this.
Okay.
And I know that on behalf of myself and the staff, we really appreciate all of your efforts in making our compensation plan very competitive. As you can tell by the scores and the distinctions, our staff works extremely hard, but we do appreciate the time and effort that you all put into making sure that we're compensated for our hard work and that we're able to support our families. So on behalf of everybody in the district, I do thank you all for being financially responsible with that task.
I move to approve the compensation plan.
Second.
We have a motion by Patrick and a second by Isidoro to approve as recommended, the compensation package for the Weslaco ISD compensation plan for fiscal year 2017, 2018. Any discussion?
Yes. Somehow, I guess I'm blaming myself, but I didn't receive this for some reason. I didn't get it. So, just by looking at this, I know it's kind of the same thing we've done in previous years, so good job
Thank
to
you,
all
sir.
your staff. There's a lot of work that was done here, and this compensation plan really is a big project to undertake. But I have one question on this. We have many employees. How many? Over 1,000 total? Not counting teachers? How many do we have?
Maybe over 2318, about maybe 1,200 are teachers.
Okay.
The other half would be,
One quick question, easy question. How many of our staff members that we have gone over the maximum?
we have 190 employees who have maxed out.
That will not get a pay raise? Do we approve this?
Well, actually, the last couple of years, the board has been generous enough to, I believe if I'm recalling correctly, they've given everybody a raise. They've included everybody, even those who have maxed out. That's one of the reasons why, we have a large group that has, obtained that large amount, because the 5% has been very generous the last couple of years.
Does our budget for this coming year reflect giving to those who are maxed out already?
Yes, sir.
Well, we'll have to look at that the next year, about how we correct that in regard to either raising the max
Yeah,
Or,
we can definitely do that.
or adjusting the raises.
Yes, sir.
And Dr. Canales, like, the ones that are highlighted in red are new positions or new to that particular domain?
Not necessarily new, Mr. Nieto, they're basically changes,
Okay.
maybe in title.
So maybe they progress from one section to another?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
And if it'll help, Dr. Rivera, at the end of the compensation plan, I do have a summary sheet of all of the red changes. That's a quick, easy reference to what has changed in the entire booklet. That might be for quick review.
That's what I saw.
I know that y'all put all this information on the updates. Moving forward in the future, anything important such as this, would you make a hard copy and make sure that it goes in a packet to all the board members? Yeah, especially right now when it's the end of the year and the budgets are coming out. And I know Andres has a lot of information that needs to go out, and also our pay raises and all that, all of this. And then, Doctor, I believe you when you say you hadn't seen it, so it is on the updates, but I know sometimes we miss them, and
It was a separate document?
yeah, but a separate document.
I would have seen this, but that's okay.
And we also, changed the update with the links for the attachments, so that could have,
So,
we'll make copies in the
a
future.
quick, easy answer. So how many employees how many do we have again?
2,300, sir.
How many are not going to receive anything at all? Are there some with zero increase?
All of them are gonna get, right?
Well, actually, it depends on your recommendation, because I know in the past, like I mentioned, you all have approved the raise to include all employees.
Right. But for this year, we approve this. There'll be some employees that will not get anything at all.
This is basically just the pay grade, sir. If you approve the proposed budget, then you're including the raise for everybody.
Everybody.
Right. But if someone is over the maximum, they're not going to get anything. No pay raise.
The question,
There is one employee, Dr. Duvetta, just by contract, through activity of the board and the employee through a process that I know of that contractually doesn't receive a raise.
So those paraprofessionals, I guess, that are maxed out are still going to receive a raise?
But not the complete raise, not the,
Correct.
is it 5%?
5%?
is it it's in the budget for the 5% for all
Yeah, they're gonna get
employees,
the
except for the ones
Some are not
listed.
going to get 5.
That is, well,
Right. Some are not going to get the 5%.
some are getting 2%.
That's how we projected it in the raise, because that's how you all have voted it in the past. So if that is the direction you give us.
No,
then-
I'm just asking.
No, it's calculated at 5%.
5%.
Yes,
So
sir.
every employee in the district is going to get 5%?
A certain group of employees, paraprofessionals.
Will not.
No, they'll get 5%.
In the budget, it's 5% for paraprofessionals, 2% for professional staff,
Yes, and 1,200 for teachers.
And 1,200
1,200 for
teachers.
teachers.
So we haven't excluded anybody with this plan.
Because in the past, the board never has, so we
I guess
calculated the same way.
his question is just, everybody's getting a raise.
Everybody's
they are.
getting a raise.
Thank you.
A complete raise.
Yes, sir.
So regardless of the maximum amount that's on the comp plan for that particular pay grade, the representation is that the employee will receive more than the max amount if the 5% goes over the max.
Yes, correct.
Yes, that's my question. From the midpoint
Yes.
of that particular grade.
Right, because you have the minimum, the
Right.
midpoint, and the max, so
I had that
5%.
another
It's
topic.
midpoint. It's the
And that's why
midpoint.
it's a large number that has exceeded, because we've
We've been doing it every year.
involved, included everybody in the race yearly for the last couple of years.
And I think everybody deserves a raise this year. You
Yes.
saw the distinctions, you saw the number of areas that we were in the green. So every year, the last 2 years we've improved. So hopefully this year we'll improve again.
I think we have a lot of people on pins and needles waiting for the vote. I'll call for the question.
All right.
All those in favor of approving the compensation plan on a motion made by Patrick and a second by Isidoro for the compensation plan fiscal year 2017, 2018, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mela. Item N, discussion and possible action for the board to consider transferring surplus funds from the district's general fund to the debt service fund. Andres.
Okay, Mr. Sanchez?
Yes, Mr. Lopez. As mentioned during the public hearing on the budget, since 2011, when the community approved the tax ratification election, the district has transferred funds from the surplus funds from the general fund to the debt service fund for the payment of bonds. For the 2017-2018, we need approximately $1,700,000 to be transferred to the fund balance available in the INS fund and the revenues projected so that we can pay the debt for next year.
Okay.
That is what administration recommends.
All right. Do your motion?
We have no choice. We gotta pay it.
Yep. Right.
You have no choice.
So moved.
Second.
Who did second? Andrew? Motion by Isidoro and a second by Andrew on the transferring of surplus funds from the district general fund to the debt service fund. And that's to pay
Bonds.
bills, or
Yeah.
bonds, right?
Bonds, yes.
From the past. Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Item O, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval to adopt the district's general fund and debt service fund budget for the fiscal year 2017, 2018. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, we're recommending that you adopt the district's general fund and debt service fund budgets for fiscal year 2017, 2018 as presented. The district's other funds budgets are attached for information purposes. The proposed 2017, 2018 general fund budget is a balanced budget. We are required to seek your approval by August 31st or earlier. And we have had 3 budget workshops on June 19th, July 6th, and August 14th, 2017.
Move to approve the budget.
Second.
A motion by Dr. Rivera and a second by Andrew Gonzalez to approve the budget, debt service fund budget for the fiscal year 2017, 2018. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
No.
Okay, we had one no.
Again,
Motion
this is just the budget. We're just approving the budget.
Yes, sir.
With everything
Yeah,
you
the budget.
included in there.
Motion passes. Item P, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of a resolution adopting the 2017, 2018 total tax rate of 1.1597 on each $100 of assessed taxable property value with the maintenance and operations, M&O, tax rate of 1.1397 and an interest and sinking, INS, tax rate of 0.02 pennies, or for the board to delay approval of a resolution adopting the 2017, 2018 total tax rate until September 2017. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, our recommendation is that you consider approval of a resolution adopting a total tax rate of $1.1597 for this coming school year on each $100 of assessed taxable property value with an M&O tax rate of $1.1397 and an INS tax rate at 2 pennies, or that you consider, that you delay the approval of the resolution adopting the 2017-2018 total tax rate until September 2017. We don't have to approve the tax rate until the end of September. We have enclosed a survey of Region 1 school districts' tax rates for 2016-2017 and the proposed for 2017-2018. So currently, we are at $1.1397, and with the 2 cents, it would be at, for INS tax rate, it would be at $1.1597.
Andres, we've had several workshops where we've talked about this.
No, only mentioned at the last workshop.
The last,
Yes.
okay. Now, on something like this, Andres, are you required to put it on the newspaper?
Yes, sir. We have to advertise no less than 10 days before or no more than 30 days before the meeting.
Did
So
that
we
happen?
advertised on the August 11th.
Did
10
that
days.
happen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
10 days
Was
ago.
there any feedback, any
the
of the
monitor.
community coming forward and calling
Nobody
you?
contacted me. I don't know.
Nobody was
I don't think anybody was contacted, none of the
No, sir.
cabinet members mentioned it, or any
I
of the
have one more
directors.
question, Andres, on this tax increase of the 2 pennies. I know you showed us a table, to where to some people it's minimal, but to others it could be a big amount of money. What does it do to our seniors that are living on a fixed budget?
Their taxes won't increase.
The taxes will
No,
not
but-
increase, they will not be affected at all.
No, when they apply for an exception, they don't get affected by any tax increases. The tax liability is frozen at the same amount.
It's at 65?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Andres, what are the school district comparable to ours? Is it the ones you have listed here?
Well, that's some of the ones that replied to the, to the survey. Closer to one would be Mission or Harlingen.
Mission and Harlingen?
Okay, so we have an option here, Dr. Canales, to either approve the 2 pennies or to wait until September 2017, is that correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
What do you guys want to do?
I move that we wait till September and see what we need to do.
Okay. Can we have a consensus or a decision of when we can have the meeting? We'll get some input from the community or let people know about meeting. Could be on Monday, the 25th of September, which means I will have to advertise 10 days before because I need to do the calculations. And prior to that, let the board know. We'll advertise it again, whether it is with the 2 pennies or now we'll get some input from the board. But we'll need to advertise early.
So we enough time to
And have 10 days,
advertise,
right.
meet the window for advertising before we come back for a
Yes,
meeting
ma'am.
to adopt it.
Yes.
Andres, just help. Your INS, what can you use that monies for?
For the payment of debt, bond only, bonds.
Okay, we have a motion right now by Isidoro to wait till September?
Correct. September 1st, but.
We have to the last day of September, correct?
Okay.
So September 30th, yes.
September 30th?
Or 29, unless you're gonna come on Saturday.
Yes. Okay.
I'll go ahead and second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Isidoro and a second by Dr. Rodriguez to delay the adaptation of the resolution 2017-18 tax rate until September 2017. Any further discussion?
If this passes, to go to September, can we have, Dr. Canales, can we have an advisory of community members to let them know that if they approve the tax rate, there will be a tax increase of 2 pennies? Just get
Information.
citizens, community members, let them be aware of what this would be and why we need the money. I can just say that I've been here 20 years as superintendent and as a board member, and during those 20 years, we have never raised taxes. We raise the taxes only when when a bond election was passed by the community.
Correct.
So this board has never raised, in 20 years that I've been here, we've never raised taxes. Only, again, repeating myself, through a bond election. So I think it's only fair to let they may not even know that there's going to be a tax increase. Get community members, explain to them, these are things that we need. And if they feel that the increase is there, then we can go ahead and vote in September.
Dr. Rivera, we talked about an advisory and getting, like focus groups, information that way, but also a survey on affordability for our community and then willingness,
And I think the information that you provided today was minimal. Even if somebody owns a house of 200,000, it was minimal per year.
$35
But if
per
they
year.
know that, then they're probably.
Yes, one thing we could do is perhaps a survey, an online survey, or
for
some sort of-
affordability and
because
willingness.
we would not ask the community to vote on it. It would just be to get their input, whether they think
Correct.
it's a good
I
thing or
think
not.
that what Dr. Rivera said to start off with community members, and I know that there's several that volunteer and come up from time to time when we go out for a bond issue or something like that.
Correct.
And have your principals recommend a parent or somebody, but get 10, 20 parents or individuals from the community and give them the information that we have, that you have. That way they can give you input and also talk to other community members and see how they feel.
We can use the same.
2 or 3 quick meetings and let's see how the community feels and we'll go forward.
And we'll use the same member that we had for the bond committee,
Yeah.
that the board recommended, plus recommendations from the principals as well.
It's unfortunate that things like this happen, taxes going up and then stuff like that, but inflation is one thing that we can't control and we can't stop. What we paid for fuel yesterday, and it's gonna go up, and fuel is just a minimal thing. We've got computers and all that stuff that we need to run the school. Salaries, which we just gave an increase, and it's in the money, and we want to give the best service and the best schooling to our students. So moving forward, we need to do what we can to, first of all, control the budget, which you got an A rating. That's to be commended on that. So we did that part. Now, just inform the public of what we got going on.
Andres, when you go out to the monitor and you put it out there, are people able to see what we see here as far as, I know it's not up on the screen, but the other school districts, you show at Edinburgh at 6 cents, Donna at 8 cents, 12 cents, 13, 14, 18, 32. Some have $1.30 at the end of the day.
And not at the same time, because every district advertises on their
Okay.
own at different times.
So our advertisement doesn't include
Whatever community
info.
members you're able to get, they need to be able to see that
Well,
we
we'll
are the
provide-
lowest. We do have a lot of needs in the district, like Mo said. And insurance, I think, has gone up $3 million every year, seems like. And so, por favor, make sure everybody is aware of these numbers as well.
Yes.
I want to say,
we can do that.
just ask a question of the administration. I am personally against raising taxes. However, if I have to sell this to the community, someone will ask me, why does the district want to raise taxes? Just in the simplest language possible, what's the district's best reason for taking money out of the folks' pocket? And what's our number one reason?
To ask them to pay more tax and not to take it from their pocket. That doesn't sound very nice.
No, it's-
With all due respect. Sure, facilities. We had to borrow $17 million for facilities. We had money in fund balance. We put together $33 million for projects that we need to do. Our bond failed. We didn't do a good job about it, but the needs were there. In 2010, it also failed, and we've been working with fund balance money. And the board, we told the board, there's all these facilities, and they said, well, we need to prioritize them. So why don't you get money for all of them? That's why we went and got the loan. If we had these 2 pennies of INS money, when next year comes around, we can transfer $1 million less to the debt service fund that we can use for facilities or supplies for the school, for pay raises or something else.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so motion by Isidoro and by Dr. Rodriguez to hold back until September on the adaptation of the 2 pennies for the tax rate on the tax rate. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. We'll hold back till September. Item Q, discussion and possible action for the board to approve a contract with M. Garcia Engineering LLP to design the plans and specifications to oversee the construction of the parking lot improvement project at Rodolfo Rudy Silva Elementary and Justice Raul Gonzalez Elementary. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, on February 13th, you approved the construction of the parking lot improvements at Silva Elementary and Gonzalez Elementary Schools as part of the priority facilities projects for the district. On April 10th, 2017, you also approved the competitive seal proposals method of construction as a procurement method of construction for the project. M. Garcia Engineering LLP to design the plans and specifications and oversee the construction of this project. However, the agenda item did not include the approval of the contract. So we're recommending that you approve a contract with M. Garcia Engineering LLP to design the plans and specifications and oversee the construction of the parking lot improvements projects at Rodolfo Rudy Silva Elementary and Justice Raul Gonzalez Elementary Schools.
So moved to approve.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Rivera and the second by Dr. Rodriguez to approve a contract with M. Garcia Engineering to design the plans, specifications, and oversee the construction of the parking lot improvements project at Rodolfo Rudy Silva Elementary and Justice Raul Gonzalez Elementary. In discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Time is 8:26. And we're going into closed session.
Have to identify the discussion.
Let me read the items we're going into closed session for. Item 1, we have employment of personnel under Texas Government Code 551.074. Item 2, resignations. Item 3, deliberation regarding the appointment, employment evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee. Texas Government Code 551.074 and 551.071. Item A, superintendent's recommendation for position of principal for Rudy Silva Elementary. Item B, superintendent's recommendation for the position of principal at Sam Houston Elementary School. And item C, superintendent's recommendation for the position of special education director. Item B, deliberation regarding real estate, Texas Government Code 551.072. Consultation with attorney regarding a pending contemplated litigation, a settlement offer, or a matter in which the duty of the attorney of the Weslaco Independent School District under Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct for the state of Texas clearly conflicts with Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code 551.071. Item 1, number 16-0925, Adan Perez Jr. versus Weslaco Independent School District in the Supreme Court of Texas, Appeal number 13-15-00033-CV, Adan Perez Jr. versus Weslaco Independent School District, 13th Court of Appeals, Corpus Christi, Texas, and cause number C-641-11-F, Adan Perez Jr. versus Weslaco Independent School District, and Richard Rivera in the 332nd Judicial District Court of Hidalgo County, Texas. Time is now 8:28. We are really on closed session. Time is 9 o'clock and we're back in open session.
Yes, sir. Is Petra coming back? Yeah.
I think he just stepped outside.
Yeah,
You want me to ask?
Yeah, he's gonna.
Fine, went outside.
Items that we discussed in closed session and that now we have to take action on is personnel matters, Texas Government Code 551.074. Number 1, employment of personnel, Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, I recommend that you approve the recommendation of contracts for certified professional personnel as discussed in closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion by Isidoro and a second by Andrew to approve the employment of personnel as presented by administration. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Item 2, resignation, is a non-action item since we have no resignations. Item 3, deliberation regarding the appointment, employment evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, Texas Government Code 551.074 and 551.071. Item A is superintendent's recommendation for the position of principal for Rudy Silva Elementary School. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, I'm recommending Sonia Gonzalez for the position of principal for Rudy Silva Elementary.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion by Andrew Gonzalez and a second by Dr. Rodriguez to approve the Sonia Gonzalez as principal for the Rudy Silva Elementary School. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries unanimously. Apparently Patrick Kennedy has stepped away. He stepped away at 9:01. So let the record reflect that. Item B.
Ms. Gonzalez is in the audience. Congratulations, ma'am.
We're going to introduce you all at the end of the meeting, but apparently the crowd was overwhelmed. Item B, superintendent's recommendation for the position of principal for Sam Houston Elementary School. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, I'm recommending Selma Gutierrez for principal of Sam Houston Elementary School.
So moved.
Second. Let us make the motion first.
Wait a minute, guys.
Andrew made it, and I second.
I made the motion.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion by Andrew and a second by Isidoro for Selma Gutierrez for principal at elementary school at Sam Houston. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Item C, superintendent's recommendation for the position of special education director. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, I'm recommending for the position of special education director, Mr. Neil Garza.
Okay.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Dr. Rodriguez and a second by Isidoro Nieto to approve Neil Garza for the position of special ed director. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
No.
Okay, we have one no. Motion carries. Item B, deliberation regarding real estate, Texas Government Code 551.072 is a non-action item. Then we have item C, consultation with attorney regarding pending or contemplated litigation, a settlement offer, or a matter in which the duty of the attorney of the Weslaco Independent School District under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code 551.071. Item 1 is number 16-0925, Adam Perez Jr. versus Weslaco Independent School District in the Supreme Court of Texas Appeal number 13-15-0033-CV. Adam Perez Jr. versus Weslaco Independent School District, 13th Court of Appeals, Corpus Christi, Texas, in the cause number C61-11-F. Adam Perez Jr. versus Weslaco Independent School District and Dr. Richard Rivera in the 332nd Judicial Court of Hidalgo County, Texas. Dr. Canales.
Well, the matter was discussed in the closed session, and council is recommending approval of the settlement as discussed in closed session.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Andrew and a second by Isidoro to approve the settlement for the lawsuits mentioned before, in which Dan Perez Jr. sued Weslaco Independent School District and Dr. Richard Rivera in the 332nd Judicial Court and in the 13th Court of Appeals. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Now we have one more item, which is item 13, adjournment.
Second.
Time is 9:06, and the meeting's over. Congratulations.